The C in our PEACE model stands for coping with acute stress. This is one area we know all of our first responders are going to need desperately. So it's not a matter of if they're going to encounter an acute stress situation, it's a matter of when they are going to have traumatic events that are acute, that are large, that are difficult to handle. And so we need to set some expectation for what happens afterwards. How do they handle it? How can they best protect themselves? So we're going to let them know that that first 24 to 72 hours is an adjustment period. We want them to spend it rotating between times of rest and relaxation and activities that can help promote their resilience. So this is something I really encourage them even to discuss with their family members. We want them to share what's going on and the knowledge that they are gaining, the skills that they are gaining to promote resilience, because it helps the whole family dynamic as well, particularly when these tough situations come up. So when we're looking into what is healthy, what is not, even prior to the situation, I let all of my clients know that emotional regulation is a huge piece of trauma recovery, right? We're trying to regulate our breathing. We're trying to get back to that rest and digest with our parasympathetic nervous system, because it takes a while sometimes to kick out that sympathetic nervous system activation, especially when it is a particularly difficult incident. So we're trying to get back to that as soon as possible by giving self-compassion. We're giving some grace, we're giving some mercy. And we do that by, again, these rotation periods of rest and healthy activities. So I always say this is a caution area. If you have people who might lean towards using alcohol as a coping mechanism, or drugs even, or who tend to start fights with people around them because they tend to withdraw from their family members or isolate, we want to make sure that we understand when we're reviewing that self-mastery, that important pinnacle, that self-actualization, we're learning how we operate in the difficult circumstance we're in. If you know that about yourself, you can use it to your benefit. You might know, I need to really stay away from alcohol during this particularly stressful time. I need to lean towards things like exercise and work on my nutrition, or maybe go for a walk, reach out to friends, all of those healthy habits we just reviewed from Maslow's hierarchy. So we want to make sure that we're utilizing the strengths of our client and putting them into practice, particularly during these stressful moments, and that we're moving away from those activities or those actions that tend to detract from their recovery and their resilience process. The last piece of this I want to note is just benchmarking, figuring out for your client when it might be important to reach out for more professional support, right? We tend to think that most people are fairly resilient. We know that most people move through these moments even without any kind of PTSD diagnosis. But they may suffer for things that are less severe, less diagnosable, like moral injury. And they may continue to think about these particular situations and doubt their own strategy or what decision making they had in the moment. These are things that we really want to make sure we normalize and that we help our clients move through with ease as much as possible. So work with them to figure out those strengths and deficits, put them to good use using your psychological first aid and critical incident information, and let's set the expectation for lots of self-compassion during these moments.